In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 NBA games happening on April 20th, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Memphis Grizzlies versus Oklahoma City Thunder. Memphis, who finished the season at 48-34, is looking to take an early advantage in their playoff series as they head to Paycom Center on Sunday afternoon to face off against Oklahoma City, a team that finished with an outstanding 68-14 record. This will be game 1 of the opening round of the playoffs, and the Grizzlies are hoping to start strong on the road. In their most recent games, both teams picked up wins. Memphis knocked off Dallas 120-106, covering the spread as 6-point favorites. Oklahoma City had a more comfortable margin, defeating New Orleans 115-100 while covering as 12.5-point favorites. When these two teams have gone head-to-head recently, the Thunder have absolutely owned the matchup, winning 9 of the last 10 meetings. They also swept the 4-game regular season series against Memphis. In terms of injuries, Memphis is still without Brandon Clark, G.G. Jackson, and Jalen Wells. Oklahoma City, on the other hand, remains without Ousmane Dieng and Nikola Topic. Those absences will likely impact bench rotations, but the key players for each squad are still active. Memphis got through the play-in tournament with a gutsy performance. Jaren Jackson Jr. put up 24 points and Ja Morant added 22 in their win over the Mavericks, punching their ticket to the playoffs. Their reward, a grueling 7-game battle against the top-seeded Thunder. The Grizzlies made a bold move by firing head coach Taylor Jenkins late in the season, believing his coaching style was holding the team back. Now, with the pressure off and expectations low, they'll try to prove they were right. Meanwhile, the Thunder had the best season in franchise history, tallying 68 wins, matching legendary teams like the 1973 Celtics and the 1967 Sixers for 4th most wins in a season. Out of the 6 teams to reach 68-plus wins before them, 4 went on to win it all. Even with that remarkable record, Oklahoma City enters the playoffs with a chip on their shoulder. Last year, they were the top seed in the West too, but were knocked out in the second round by Dallas in 6 games. That sting still lingers, and this year it feels like anything short of a championship would be a disappointment. They'll want to come out with fire in Game 1. The Thunder swept the season series against Memphis by an average margin of 18 points per game. At one point earlier this year, both teams were at the top of the West, but things changed quickly. After a 35-16 start, the Grizzlies fell apart and dropped 17 of their next 31 games. The Thunder come into this game riding a 4-game win streak, while the Grizzlies have dropped 3 of their last 5. Oklahoma City has been more efficient offensively in recent outings, shooting 50% from the floor across their last 3 games. Memphis hasn't quite kept up, hitting just 46% of their shots in road games. At the free throw line, the Thunder also have the edge, knocking down over 82% of their attempts at home. They rebound with energy, especially on the offensive glass, pulling in over 10 second chance opportunities per game. They take care of the ball, too, which limits transition chances for their opponents. Memphis hasn't been sharp defensively, giving up more than 117 points per game when playing away from home. That spells trouble against a high-powered offense like Oklahoma City Thunders. Oklahoma City went 4-0 straight up and against the spread in their regular season meetings with Memphis. The most recent game, played in late March, saw the Thunder win by 21 points at home. That game was played without Ja Morant, but even when he was available earlier in the month, Memphis still lost by 17. One of the main problems for Memphis has been their inability to contain Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who torched them for an average of 36 points on 53.7% shooting. In the paint, Zach Edey usually holds his own, but with both Isaiah Hartenstein and the long-limbed Chet Holmgren coming at him, he'll have his hands full. Oklahoma City Thunder is well rested, and they want to prove their historic season wasn't just a fluke. The Grizzlies are on short rest and could be running out of gas. Oklahoma City is 9-1 straight up and 8-2 against the spread in the last 10 games against Memphis. The Thunder are nearly unbeatable at home with a 35-6 record. Between their crowd, their momentum, and their rest advantage, I expect them to come out and dominate in Game 1. As our first pick for this matchup, the Oklahoma City Thunder to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Memphis has gone over the total in each of their last 3 games, and Oklahoma City has done the same in 3 of their last 4. The Grizzlies are scoring an impressive 122 points per game, and they play at the fastest pace in the league, 106.7 possessions per game. They'll be going up against a Thunder team that allows just 108 points per game at home. Oklahoma City Thunder is also piling up the points, averaging 120.5 per game, and they're not slow either, playing at the 11th fastest pace with 103.3 possessions a night. Meanwhile, Memphis's defense on the road has been shaky, giving up nearly 118 points per game. This game features 2 of the most explosive offenses in basketball. Oddly enough, their regular season matchup stayed under the total 3 times and pushed once, with the teams averaging 231 combined points. That might have had more to do with timing than anything else. Oklahoma City is fresh and has been lighting up the scoreboard lately, scoring 125 or more in 6 of their last 10 games. Memphis isn't far behind, scoring 116 or more in 3 straight and topping 120 in 4 of their last 6. Combined, these 2 teams have hit the over in 91 games this year. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Orlando Magic versus Boston Celtics. This Sunday, the NBA playoffs kick off with the 7th-seeded Orlando Magic going head-to-head against the 2nd-seeded Boston Celtics in the first round. It's a solid matchup to open the Eastern Conference bracket, and there's already some history between these two. They faced off 3 times during the regular season, with Orlando snagging 2 wins and covering the spread in both victories. Over their last 10 meetings, the Magic hold a slight edge, going 6-4 straight up and 7-3 against the spread. In those same 10 matchups, the total went under 7 times. Orlando comes into this series a little banged up. They'll be without both Jalen Suggs and Moritz Wagner, 2 important pieces in their rotation. On the other side, the Celtics are heading into Game 1 completely healthy, with nobody listed on the injury report. Game 1 tips off Sunday afternoon at TD Garden in Boston. There's no denying that the Celtics are the better team on paper and will likely punch their ticket to the next round, but laying down 14.5 points feels steep against a Magic squad that deserves some respect. Orlando actually beat Boston twice this season, once by 14 points at home back in December, and again by 20 points just a little over a week ago in Boston. Sure, the latter win came against a resting Celtics team, but it still counts for something. The Magic aren't walking in afraid. Beyond the head-to-head success, this Orlando team has been quietly playing some great basketball lately. They've won 6 of their last 7 games, and the only loss came in a throwaway game against Atlanta where none of their starters played. So realistically, they haven't lost a meaningful contest since March 31st. That form continued in the play-in round, where they cruised past the Hawks 120-95 on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Boston hasn't played a game since last Sunday, so they're coming in with a full week of rest, and maybe a bit of rust. Boston's got the firepower to run away with this game, no doubt. They're deep, experienced, and flat-out talented. Missing Suggs and Wagner doesn't do Orlando any favors. But still, the Magic are playing as well as they have all year, winning 7 of their last 9 games. They've taken down Boston twice since December, including that 20-point beatdown at the Garden less than 2 weeks ago. And if you've been paying attention this season, you know the Celtics have struggled to cover big spreads. Boston finished the regular season with a 38-43-1 record against the spread. More notably, they've gone to 7-14 against the spread in their last 21 games when favored by double digits. In the playoffs, they're 0-3 against the spread in their last 3 games as double-digit favorites, with one of those turning into a straight-up loss. The Magic may not be known for lighting up the scoreboard, but they play with grit and defend well. They'll try to control the pace and turn this into a scrappy, low-scoring battle. As our first pick for this matchup, the Orlando Magic to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The Celtics shoot the 3-ball really well, hitting at a 36.8% clip, and they don't shy away from firing away. They led the entire league in attempts from beyond the arc. That could spell trouble for the Magic, who finished 23rd in the league when it comes to defending the perimeter. Another thing working in Boston's favor, they rarely turn the ball over, ranking 2nd in the NBA in turnover percentage. That's a big plus when facing a team like Orlando that prefers to slow the game down and limit possessions. The Magic aren't exactly a scoring machine, and they've battled injuries that kept their offense from really clicking. But with Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner healthy, they've got a pair of solid scoring options. They've put up 120-plus points in 2 of their last 3 games, so they're not limping in on offense. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Miami Heat versus Cleveland Cavaliers. The NBA regular season and play-in tournament are now behind us, and the playoffs are finally here. Sunday night marks the beginning of a best-of-7 showdown between the top-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers and the 8th-seeded Miami Heat, who will be traveling up to Cleveland to open their series by Lake Erie. Miami secured their postseason berth with an overtime win on the road against Atlanta, pulling off a 123-114 victory as slight 2-point favorites on Friday. Meanwhile, Cleveland closed out their regular season with a 126-118 home loss to Indiana last Sunday, missing the mark as 7-point underdogs. Historically, Miami holds the upper hand in the regular season series with an 80-53 advantage, but this season the Cavaliers won 2 of the 3 matchups, including a narrow 112-107 win at home on March 5th. This series marks the first time these 2 franchises will clash in the playoffs. Kevin Love will be unavailable for Miami due to personal reasons, while Cleveland comes into the matchup with a clean bill of health. On paper, Cleveland is the stronger squad and should be able to take care of business, but the coaching edge that Eric Spoelstra brings to the Heat can't be ignored. It may help them keep things tighter than expected. The Cavaliers haven't been in a high-stakes game in quite a while, which can make it hard to suddenly flip the competitive switch. Miami, on the other hand, has kept things steady and competitive since trading away Jimmy Butler, and they've shown they can hang in close games. That early March meeting between these 2 ended in a 5-point Cleveland win, and something similar could be in the cards. If you're just going by the rosters and stats, it looks like Cleveland should be able to dictate terms against Miami. They went 48-33-1 against the spread during the regular season, which made them the second most profitable team in the league. But a closer look shows that nearly half of their 18 losses since March 16th have come in recent weeks. Miami, meanwhile, has covered the spread in 7 of their last 10 games against the Cavs. They've also gone 10-3-1 against the spread in their last 14 games as double-digit underdogs, with 5 of those covers resulting in outright wins. Looking back at playoff games since 2020, the Heat are 5-3 against the spread when they're double-digit underdogs, and 3 of those times they won outright. Cleveland hasn't been this heavy of a favorite in a playoff game since 2017, and they haven't covered a spread this large in the postseason since 2016. As our first pick for this matchup, the Miami Heat to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Over their last 10 games, the Heat have averaged 120 points per game, well above their season average by just over 9 points. They've allowed 108 points per game during that stretch. Those offensive numbers are a bit skewed due to a 153-point explosion against a severely depleted Pelicans team, along with scoring 120 and 118 in games against Washington. The Heat still play at one of the slowest paces in the league, sitting 28th in tempo with just over 96 possessions per game, and they rank 21st in offensive efficiency. The Cavaliers, on the other hand, lead the league in overall scoring offense for the season and are averaging 120 points per game over their last 10 outings, which is just a touch below their full season average. They play faster than Miami, ranking 10th in tempo with close to 100 possessions per game, and they lead the league in offensive efficiency as well. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these 2 teams have gone over the total. It feels like a stretch to expect Miami to be held under 100 points in Game 1. The total for this game would require about 54 points per quarter to hit the over, and that doesn't seem like much to ask considering how efficient Cleveland has been at shooting the ball all season. From the All-Star break through the end of the regular season, Cleveland held a 119.2 offensive rating, while Miami posted a 114.7 mark, which put them 19th. The over has hit in 6 of the last 8 matchups between these teams. With Cleveland's offensive firepower and Miami's recent scoring uptick, this one has the makings of a high-scoring game. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Golden State Warriors versus Houston Rockets. The 7th-seeded Golden State Warriors will kick off their first-round series in the NBA playoffs against the 2nd-seeded Houston Rockets in Game 1 of a best-of-7 battle. These 2 squads faced each other 5 times in the regular season, with Golden State coming out on top in 3 of those contests. The Warriors punched their ticket to this series by edging out the Grizzlies in the play-in tournament opener. Golden State enters the series with a healthy roster, while Houston will once again be without Easy and Tate and Jock Landale. well. During the regular season, these teams split their 5 matchups pretty evenly, with the Warriors taking the series 3-2, but every one of those games was a grind, all decided by 10 points or fewer. That tells us we should be in for a close, hard-fought series. The Warriors bring experience and composure, especially with the recent addition of Butler, who has been fitting in well. On the flip side, the Rockets have the edge in youth, athleticism, rebounding, bench depth, and overall defense. Golden State leans heavily on its veteran trio, and they just had to go full throttle to escape the play-in. Curry dropped 37 points, while Butler added 38, but the truth is those legs don't recover like they used to. One of the biggest concerns for the Warriors in this series is how they'll handle Alperen Sengun. Draymond Green simply doesn't have the size to body him up all game, and Golden State likely doesn't want to commit to a lineup with both Looney and Green for too many minutes. That would stall their offense. This isn't the Warriors team of old that could surround Steph with 3 other snipers. Sure, Steph is still a threat, but Houston has long, athletic defenders on the wings who can chase guys like Podziemski and healed off the arc. It feels like this is one of those series where most of the betting public is going to side with the Warriors, but that could open up some real value by backing Houston instead. You're getting them in what's essentially a coin flip game on their home floor, where they've been rock solid all year. They're well rested and just wrapped up a home campaign where they win an impressive 29-12 straight up. When you break things down by the numbers, Houston's defense and rebounding really pop. They lead the entire league in rebound rate at 53.5%. And they're also best in the NBA at grabbing their own misses, pulling down 31.7% of them. That kind of second-chance hustle can wear down any team over a series. I've gone back and forth on this matchup because both teams bring a lot to the table. On one hand, the Warriors have been there and done that, plenty of playoff reps under their belt. But the Rockets are the deeper team overall, and they bring a swagger that's hard to coach. They're young, fast, and defensive-minded, and they've already shown they can frustrate teams like the Warriors. They made Curry uncomfortable just a couple weeks ago. Houston might be inexperienced, but they've got real talent and zero fear. They're not going to fold under pressure. A lot of casual fans and bettors are going to roll with the Warriors here, but sometimes it's smart to go against the crowd. I can't say no to taking the Rockets at a pick'em price, especially when they've got the edge in rest, defense, home court advantage, and control of the glass. As our first pick for this matchup, the Houston Rockets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Playoff hoops are finally here, and we're entering that part of the season where odds makers need a few games to adjust totals as the tempo and style of play start to shift. Defensive intensity ratchets up, and the refs tend to swallow the whistle more often, letting guys play through contact. That results in fewer free throws, which means fewer easy points with the clock stopped. Houston's last couple games of the regular season had totals set at 228 or higher. Now, we're seeing a big drop down to 212.5, simply because it's postseason time. These two teams actually played 5 times during the regular season, plus one more in the NBA Cup quarterfinals, a game Houston won 91-90. Right after that, they lost 111-96 to Oklahoma City Thunder. I bring up those 2 games because both had serious playoff energy, just like what we're expecting in this Sunday night tilt. Houston's already shown that they can slow things down and lean on their elite defense when it matters. Defensively, Houston finished 4th in the league in efficiency, allowing just 108 points per 100 possessions. Golden State wasn't far behind. They ranked 7th at 108.9, but every small edge matters when things get tight. It's easy to look at a total this low and feel like the over has to hit, but this is the playoffs now. Game 1 second or KG. Nobody wants to give an inch, and teams come in ready to lock down. I'm expecting this one to be more of a brawl than a shootout. Buckets will be hard to come by, and both teams are going to have to grind every possession. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.